Con as much as we are. If you are seeing this on the distant future, hi. So we are playing Hearts of Wulin, Autumn Willow. So Hearts of Wulin is a game about Uxia and entanglements and people that have duties and ties and responsibilities. And instead of talking about them, they are very obliquous and can only be sincere through fighting. An excellent combination. Uh, this game in particular, there's a lot of inspiration of the period of the warring states or the romance of the three kingdoms, more than, for example, the water margin. The core concept is that we are at the end of this age of warlords and disparate kingdoms and dissipate cultures and philosophies. And we zoom in the last battle of an era, the battle of the Silver Willow Lake. And we meet with the heroes of the land as they take out and try to establish through this battle what will the world look for the future. So our aim will be for this session will be to do character creation, and then we're going to go through entanglements, establish a few questions that tie the characters to each other and to the different factions, and we lay out the state of play and how things are at the beginning of the battle. And then we're going to go through the first 2 days of battle. And laying out the situation for the next session with whoever heroes remain. So the tone, it's a lot of romance, intrigue, and epic combats. It's still Hearts of Wulin. So you're going to be playing powerful heroes and commanders, and you meet each other, duel, trade dozens of bouts, and are pretty much single-handed able to turn the tide of war. So you can expect the traditional troops and elements of warfare inherent in the premise to be there, but it should not get more violent than you will see on mainstream media. The game, of course, this is a gauntlet game, so of course we follow the gauntlet inclusivity policy, and we have the open table. So if at any moment you need to leave for any reason, just inform so, and we're going to pause the game and resume if you are willing to continue or not. We also have the following safety tools. We have lines and veils, which you find it on the character keeper, which in case you don't have available, let me relink again. So we have it on the character keeper, a tab that is only for lines and veils. So anything that you don't want to see as part of this game, you just put in as a line, something hard that we are not even going there or approaching anywhere close. Or if it's something that you want to see and knowledge as an element of the game, but you don't want to play to it, so it happens on the background or off screen, then you add that as a veil. We also be using the X card. The X card, basically you signal on the shot or through the roll for your party tool or visually, and we stop the game, we remove this the offending element. It can be anything from simple as a name to just something that you don't want to deal with today, and we remove that and we continue the game. Just no stress. And if we are dealing with a more situation that requires more careful touch, because if you want to play through something but you want to the subject at hand to be handled carefully, then we have on the roll for your party, we have the script change tools. And script change is basically it adds an editorial board to a scene, so you can rewind If you are not satisfied with the way something played out, pause and discuss with other people what do you think maybe is not really working for you, or you can fast forward through elements of a scene. So basically, use these as to complement the other safety tools in case there's nothing that really applies and you still want to play through a scene. And the first step that we're gonna do, as we discussed, it was character creation. So for each of you or for the audience, so as I mentioned entanglements and bonds and whatnot. Those will be crucial elements. Because your characters are defined by their ties to others and to the world. So you're going to start to make a character by the normal PBTA fare, picking a look, picking a name, and then you come to playbooks. And the playbooks, there are 6 of them, which have different agendas in play. So we have the Aware, which is more of a sage playbook, someone informed and in tune with the world. The Bravo, which is more of the roguish type. We have the Loyal, which is a playbook about heroes that are conflicted about their life on the Wulin scene and their other duties. We have the Outsider, which is someone that does not fit in either conventional society nor in the world of the Wulin. We have the Student, which is the archetype of the martial arts student that is trying to find their place in the world. And we have the Unorthodox, which is someone that does not seem to exactly fit on this world of the Wulin, but is still just as capable or more in the martial arts as the others. So, and as I mentioned, each playbook has an agenda that you're going to shape the way that it's played. And you pick one of the playbooks, and each of them you have a master move. Basically, it's a role, so it is something that defines within that archetype a more specific niche that you want to fulfill and what you want to see in the story. A type of student, a type of aware, a type of bravo. And lets you fine tune that experiment and gives you already, it's basically a move. And then you get additional tool from that playbook. So that would be the first step. So you can look on the tab CC2. You can find some of the playbooks. Well, you can find all of them. And if is anyone that has interest in any of them?
Started on Bravo.
Bravos are always fun. That's actually my most played playbook.
I was looking at Student.
Good
Students
deal.
are always fun.
Kind of vacillating between Unorthodox and Loyal myself.
The Unorthodox is really fun if you really try to hide your martial arts and end up messing up and destroying everything around you, which is kind of happened to me.
Yeah. The Kung Fu Time Bomb.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the Aware. I've never played the Aware, so
cool.
Try it out.
Okay, it's good. It's good that we don't have any overlap. So you can start making your picks while I talk about the next step. So because this is a game about martial arts, so you need the martial arts. So each of the characters has a style. So a style is basically you give a name to the style of the martial arts that you practice. You can draw inspiration from the factions, and names. That there is a tab just for that. You can draw from that to tell her maybe this is something that is taught by this order, or my teacher is that person and goes by that title, and their students know this style. So that's a good way to go for inspiration. And the style has two components. By default, you can always use your style unarmed, but additionally, you have also a style weapon, which you can pick from a list of them, from things like flexible, so like whips and chains and whatnot. Improvising weaponry, especially fun if you are playing the unorthodox. Massive weapons like big hammers and axes. Paired, so anything that you want to dual wield. Saber and swords, self-descriptive, and staffs, spears, thrown weapons. You can even go even more exotically by having an unusual weapon as your style weapon. And the second thing that this is very important to consider, because this is probably going to be your best element, and elements have different associations on personality of a character, on how they interact with the world. So you can also pick the element that is tied to your style. So this is going to be important whenever you use that style. You're going to roll with that element. And I'm going to go further into details after. Well, I can actually do it now. So the thing with the elements is that you can pick between three arrays, and the elements, you have your primary style element that is tied to your style, so we're going to use for everything that is combat related. And then you have the other elements that are very important for, well, for everything, because you, most of the time, you're going to be rolling your element, yes, but the main point of the game is to challenge your entanglement. So on that time specifically, you cannot roll with your style element. So you want to have other elements in which you can use for that. The thing is, you pick which element you roll every time. So if you are doing something, depending how you are approaching a situation, how you feel about a situation, there will be an element that applies more than another. So that is why you tend to be more versatile. For example, if you have different elements, or if you have approaches that you favor, then you have better certain elements than others. And it's also important because a lot of things basically that all the conditions are marking elements. There is one condition that's not marking elements, but you don't want to mark that one because it's really bad. So yeah, when you get wounded in this game, you really get wounded. So usually what happens when you mark an element is that you draw open the worst manifestations of that element on your personality. So if you see your on the characters part of the character keeper, you have next to where you mark an element, you can see suggestions for how to roleplay your character when you have an element marked. So I dumped a lot of information, so let's check how is everyone doing.
Excuse me, Ludo. Is there a reference for the different stat arrays?
Yes. If you go to where it is, CCU1 basics, you have there. Yeah. On the third topic, you have the three arrays of the game. Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
So it seems everyone is pretty much done. So the next part will be the funniest part of character creation, in my opinion, which is to making these people's life very complicated. So it's to pick entanglement. So uh, you have to pick two entanglements. One is a generic entanglement, and the other is, by definition, a romantic one. And you have different lists. Then you also have some suggestions on the CCT entanglements about which entanglements might be good for certain playbooks. And on the cat's documents, on the second page, you also will find some custom entanglements for this game, in case you want to pick from those two. But before that, because this requires already some level of collaboration between the players, we should go around and introduce the characters one by one, even if you still are creating a mental image of them, just what you have so far. So let's go by the order of the character keeper, and let's start with Zen or Loyal.
Yes, Jen is a up-and-coming swordsman in the Holy Society, which should be recognized by its name, not its label. Like that whole "we're unrighteous" is just a stereotype, man. Um, Jen is a kind of serious-looking guy who has a bit of a baby face. He is well known as a master of the Thousand Spear Palm. Uh, kind of a passionate guy, a little bit prone to overreaction. Yeah, that's what I've got so far.
Next, we have Ming or Aware.
Yeah. Well, I haven't come up with a faction yet for Ming, but Ming's generally regarded as your quiet, calm master. Uh, always walks around with very elegant and like intricately designed clothing. Doesn't like to brag that he's a master or something, but like definitely shows it off in his clothing. But usually very calm, collected. Fights in a style known as the Dawn Crane, which takes a lot of dedication to learn that, and a lot of focus to be able to pull that off. Uh, his main style is water, at least when fighting, and is able to pretty much keep his cool for the most part. Um, he does have a move called a touch of Zen, so if water ever gets marked, he could still fight with the other elements, which is kind of OP, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's Ming.
And next, we have Bao or Bravo.
Yes, playing Bao. Bao is a member of the Iron Prosperity Delegates, and he has done very well for himself. I have noted that he constantly was wearing this constantly changing wardrobe. It is gilded and extravagant. If he stood still, you might mistake him for a piece of furniture. It is just so pillowy and um, there's all sorts of padding and stuff. He is escorted at all times by Melee, his advisor. She, in stark contrast, is always dressed very conservatively and in a contrasting color to Bao, so that she always stands apart. She's constantly whispering in his ear. He is a favorite eldest, so he is very well off, and everyone knows that he has lots and lots of money. He likes to enjoy himself, and this is all just an elegant game to him. Oh, and his style is the 100 facet blade technique, which he originated, and it's very fancy. It's very fancy. Lots of daggers.
And then we have Wei. He is He comes from a very noble house, but he is the very, very last son of a very large family. So he had a lot of brothers and sisters as he was growing up, keeping him down. He tries to keep control of everything because of that. Doesn't like being in a situation where he's not the one doing everything. But he tries to stay happy about it all. He is his school has taught him the style of the hidden path, and his master has said to be able to walk around you enough times and then find any weakness or hole in your defense.
Nice. So, anyone has any entanglement ideas? The hardest part is to cut down the choices to two, in my opinion.
I really like the one for the aware where it says, "I've discovered my friend blank has hidden their true power from me, but told blank another friend." I really like that one. So, does anybody have any names they want to throw in there? Like, which one of you might be hiding your true power from me?
Do we go in the same circles?
And now let's go depending on who has ideas. This can be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm wondering if Bao and Ming, as they are both somewhat fancily dressed, if they run in the same circles, and I've been hiding my true powers as a thief and as an assassin.
Whoa.
Yeah, that could work. But who is our mutual friend?
Yeah, but who's our mutual friend who knows this?
Can be
Mm.
another. Yeah, can be another PC or NPC that you want to introduce. But this one seems a fun one to have another PC.
Well, I noticed that you took the favored eldest part, Bao, and I thought that could be fun if I'm the younger sibling. If you're the
and you're even in a different faction.
yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder if
Don't
you
try
are
to put me in a box, Mom.
I wonder if you are on opposite sides of the war too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So that might feed into one of the ones I was looking at from the sheet, which was I achieved a great victory against blank, but blank took credit for it. Now, would my little brother have taken credit for it? Like the
Sure.
little worm he is?
Don't talk to me like that.
And that's why you left the faction? You
Yeah.
stormed out outrageous.
So who did I achieve a great victory against? Do we want to go with an NPC there?
Which faction are you part of?
The Iron Prosperity Delegates.
Iron Prosperity. I'm gonna have to start taking notes. Oh,
You can leave
the
that open.
Ajumongs? Okay.
Or did might it be the Holy Society that I
It could
achieved a
be.
great victory against?
It's possible.
Would it be you yourself, or would it be somebody higher up than you? Or is there nobody higher up than you?
No, I'm not the boss. Yeah, I mean, it easily could have been me. I've definitely led troops before, but I don't know. Just be aware, I will be very pissed at you.
Oh, that's the name of the game. Okay.
Yeah, fair.
So I have
Okay.
achieved a great victory against Zhen, but Wei took the credit for it. My little brother.
And the goal is to
I have-
stay pissed at them without ever saying it.
So then you are pissed at Wei? Or do you know
Why-
who actually defeated
The
you?
whole family, like I don't have anything for Iron Prosperity or the Eagle Doctrine sect, so I'm just going to win victories over both of them. The whole
Yeah.
family name is dead to me.
Cut down the entire tree.
So Wei, what is Ming's and Wei's what do they base their friendship on? Do you revere Ming as a master? Is it
I
like
would, yes.
so is it like a reverence master's type student thing, even though maybe you're not officially my student?
Yeah. Perhaps you know my master.
Okay, that'll work.
Wait a minute. Can I slightly edit? So, oh gosh, where are these? I'm sorry, I'm having to hop between too many spreadsheets. Here we go. So we need some romantic entanglements, don't we? That's like required.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the second one is a romantic one.
Okay. Because I think that might work here. Let me get down to the loyalty romantic ones.
Actually, I have a fantastic romantic one.
So do I, but go for it.
Because I've got here, I love blank, but my teacher blank killed someone dear to them.
Whoa, nice.
I love that one.
And what if that ties me and Jen? And so even though
No, that works so well. That works so
my
well.
teacher and my brother and my family in general is hated so much by you, but I'm so in love with you.
Right, and I was just about to like amend my whole like vendetta against your whole family because I think I'm into Wei whether it's requited or not. But because I've sworn revenge against Bao,
And of course, because it's Hearts of Wulin, you don't talk about your feelings to each other.
Oh, yeah, no.
no, why would I do that?
Sorry, Bao, but I'm in love with your advisor.
Yeah, I knew you would
Oh,
be.
Yeah, so I'm in love with Mealy, who I've overlooked for too long. But now they love Bao. I think she's now has feelings towards Bao.
that's so
At least you
sweet.
think she does.
Yeah.
I mean, she has to, right? Otherwise, how will anyone endure Bao?
It's an interesting question.
Actually, you know what? Let's switch it up. Instead of Bao, let's throw another wrench in Wee and Zen's love triangle here. She's now in love with Zen.
Oh,
Oops.
Wait, this shit is requited? This is awesome. This is awesome. Okay.
Oh my god, now you can turn her against Bao, your enemy.
Yeah. That's why they call them entanglements, because they get tangled.
Oh, poor Mei Li. She's gonna have it rough, man. I don't think Jen swings that way, so that's gonna be a challenge for her. Oh,
well, Ming. Oh, no, that doesn't make any sense because you're a master.
I'm a master, but I was young once.
No, I had a thing about you being a rival student.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unless they became master after your former master died.
dun dun dun.
Okay.
And he
Well, yeah,
inherited the school.
Yeah, because we are friends. So if
Right.
we train together and you achieved greatness because my master picked you over me,
Yeah,
That
that could work.
But then I've got 2 entanglements with my teacher. Is that going to be too much? Who's dead?
Oh, your teacher's dead?
Well, for that to work, we have to say that.
Yeah, I'd rather your teacher be alive if they killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because it gives me more to play with. Well, the two things are not contradictory. You know, he could have left the school to you and had retired, and now are there killing people.
Okay, we'll go with this. This is too perfect anyway.
So this, in a way, feeds off of an entanglement we already have. But I was thinking, my friend Ming. No, sorry.
Oh,
No,
that's the wrong one.
my friend Ming and I vie for the attention of Melee, despite their indifference to both of us.
Yeah, it fits perfect.
Okay.
We just have to get rid of Zen.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see this whole other column of entanglements that aren't like playbook related. What?
Yeah, it's so many and so good.
Okay, I just found one I like finally. I will. Ooh, wait. Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, that totally works. I'm having more trouble with copy and paste today for no good reason at all.
Yeah, I found it easier to actually like click into the cells and just copy the texts instead of trying to copy the actual cell over.
Oh, that's exactly what I was doing, and I'm still getting like random chunks of formatting and like color fills and stuff.
No, weird.
I'm cursed when it comes to spreadsheets. Okay, I need a really highfalutin name. I will be back in like 5 seconds here, my friends. All right.
Ooh, another NPC. Shadowed Saber.
Shadowed Saber, the leader of Holy Society.
I have
Offhand.
I have a quick question for Wei. The teacher Hua killed somebody that was close to Jin. Who was it?
What? Ah.
Ooh.
And do I know about it? Is that like common
Oh.
knowledge or a secret?
I don't know.
Whoa! Now, Hua is pretty far in the past, right? Like, you long since sort of graduated out of Hua's teaching. Is that correct?
So I think I have. It's not long since, but perhaps I've been there. I was at the school for a bit too long, and maybe they were my closest teacher, and then they moved on, and I've only just finished my tutelage from other masters.
What I'm driving at is like, if Hua has a pretty long history, it's possible that Hua killed one of my relatives, like my older brother, or maybe even my dad, and that might have driven me into the arms of the Holy Society in the first place.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, Hua's a jerk.
So I'm thinking Hua like promoted me to master when Hua left. And when I was master, over way for that short period of time, I was then offered to or I was recruited by the Azure Monastery, which left Way all alone to be a student.
So obviously there was another teacher in that school after that took care of me.
Probably.
But they mustn't have left much of an impact on my life.
I don't know. They said that your credits did not transfer, and they gave you the work that you need to go to your pharmacist master.
Seriously, man. Like, I think they're gonna have Hua up on some sort of like, challenge to his tenure eventually. Like, he skipped town just ahead of like the board there.
I could go ahead and say this one's starting off a little bit easier than the game I played with Greg before, because I think 3 of the characters had secret identities in that game. So it was very, very confusing.
That's still 100% kung fu, though.
Yeah,
we had 2 characters in costume battle. It was ridiculous. It got really crazy.
Yeah. So then we're gonna pick bounds. So you get a bound from one person from each of your entanglements. So a total of 2 bounds. And basically, bounds is they start at 1, and during play you can burn bounds to get +1 on a roll. So yeah, whenever it will make sense that a roll is related to your bound, you can just burn it to modify the dice rolls.
How many bonds we get with PCs? 1 or 2?
You get 1.
1.
Actually, no. You can pick for the second one also a PC, or the same one. Then you get 2.
Oh, okay.
Say, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Is Azure Monastery a righteous or unrighteous sect or something else?
No, it's very, very secular. I guess you could say it's very orthodox.
Okay, cool.
I imagine it like a place of healing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, where is the roll for your party link? I can't find it.
It should be besides your characters. But let me just link again. Hmm.
It seems to be working, Ludo, or unless you just added that just this moment.
Yeah. Can you use it?
Yeah, it worked for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And also I muted my mic earlier and didn't explain what I was trying to say.
Okay, so we are almost done. So we're gonna take a break, then start. But before that, I have one question that I'm going to ask from each of you. Let's go in turn of the character keeper. First question is, which side of the two hegemons that until we introduce the hegemons themselves, I had them on my notes as the ox hegemon and the crane hegemon. So, which of the hegemons does your faction follow? And the second question, do your character follow the line of the faction, or are they serving the opposition? So let's start with Jen.
Forgive me, Pat, I have to ask. I need to be opposite whatever your faction is doing. Whoever Azure Monastery follows, clearly Holy Society is the opposite.
All right. Well, since my fighting style is the Dawn Crane, I would imagine I would follow the Crane.
Then Holy Society backs the ox full on.
And Jen, is he in line with the society or not?
Yes, asterisk.
Oh,
Publicly 100% Team Ox. Privately, I have a whole lot of respect for Ming, and the fact that Ming seems to back Crane for more than just sort of team loyalty reasons kind of has me wondering.
I think everything in this game, decision-wise, has an asterisk. So, but yeah, Ming is definitely following Crane along with the Azure Monastery.
How about the Iron Prosperity delegates?
I believe the Iron Prosperity delegates are with. Well, let's see. I achieved a great victory against Jen, so I think it makes sense the Iron Prosperity delegates are on Team Crane. I think it remains to be seen exactly what side of this conflict Bao is on. I think he's going to be on whatever side is going to get him and secure him the most money. I think as play starts, yes, he is with what is it? The Crane. What's the full name there?
Yeah,
the Crane hegemony.
Yeah, let's say the Whispering Crane.
The Whispering Crane. Yes.
Yeah, that's the name of the hegemon.
By all outward appearances, yes.
Yeah.
That was 100% with the Whispering Cranes.
So, yeah.
Please tell me the other faction's called the Thundering Ox.
It is called the Thundering Ox.
Excellent.
Okay, so what is the loyalty to the Eagle Doctrine School?
Well, I was just thinking that if the Doctrine School is Crane, then that would make sense for Ming to go across, like in faction, across the Azure Monastery. Or do we say that Eagle Doctrine School is part of the Ox, which means that Ming has defected from the Ox to do so? How do you feel about that?
I like it. It makes it more complicated.
Yeah. So yeah, the Eagle Doctrine School is a part of the Thundering Ox.
And Wei?
Well, Wei does what his school tells him to.
Okay, this looks amazing. Okay, so how about we take 5 minutes break and we start this mess. See you in five.
So Ludo, I went ahead and signed up for your session tomorrow. I was supposed to be in Ross Rifles, but Daniel got sick and had to cancel. So
Oh, good, but bad. I was really looking forward to seeing Russ Rifles or how it plays on this version. Okay, so we open on the twilight of the first day of the battle. The forces of the Whispering Crane and of the Thundering Ox, they meet in the Silver Lake region, full of tricky, tricky creeks, deep lakes, fortified wheel and small trading communities. It's the place where the Southlands and the Northlands meet. It is the heart of the empire, and it's where the future will be decided. So there's not much fighting on the first day. There is small confrontations between skirmishers as every side is trying to mobilize to get a strong force base and to protect their own supply lines. And there's been people going around checking who the banners are, who and which heroes have answered the call of the hegemons. We cut to our four heroes as they contemplate the region, as they ride alongside these auspicious lands. And I'm going to be asking a few questions, which I'm going to share with you just in case there's one question that any of you really wants to answer. So you can just take it. I'm going to start by asking, well, Ming, how did the Crane hegemon manage to protect the Southlands for the last 10 years?
surprisingly, it wasn't through any martial tactics. It was through the sheer love of the people. We've healed so many at the Azure Monastery, saved many lives, kept families from being broken apart. That throughout the whole Southern lands, it's the monastery is loved and protected without the monastery even asking for it.
And and wait, since when has the Ox hegemon started their ascension, taking the northern kingdoms and city-states piecemeal?
I feel like it started happening a while ago, but very, very slowly. Some of the border towns around the east and west on the corner society found the cranes control and manipulation unbearable, and started to defect on their own. And then following that wave, the Ox hegemon has started to, the Thundering Ox has started to move upwards to try and relieve the rest of the northern kingdoms from their overlords.
And I ask Bao, why is this place so important for your people, this region where the battle will be fought?
Well, the Southlands are surprisingly way less fertile. This is a huge breadbasket as a word, but it is rice fields. And the Northlands would surely starve this coming winter if they do not secure more of it. And the Southlands need to secure this so that they can further grow. Is all about the food.
So next, I ask Jen, why are people afraid when the ox declares their cantum as to be under their protection?
The ox is opportunist. They have there's sort of the revolutionary to the Crane's establishment, and they are bad about not bothering to win the populace over. Right? They just come in, take what they want, and might makes right. So the people who are newly under their command tend to grumble about it.
Ming, which figure of old does your faction regards as a hero?
Which figure of old does the faction regard as a hero? I think it was General Feng. She was a great general, a leader of both men and women in ancient times, and led many into many great battles. Rumor has it during one particularly pitched battle, she dropped her weapons and moved about, healing both friend and foe.
What was her name?
General Feng, Feng.
I'm not sure if I wrote that correctly. Fan.
Feng, yeah. G at the end.
Okay. No, wait. Yeah, so they healed people on the both sides, creating an inspiration for what will become the Azure Monastery, I think. So next, I'm gonna ask. Oh, this is a very good one to drop on them. I'm gonna ask Wei, what is the most difficult thing you ever had to do in order to prove your loyalty?
I think I had to win a battle against my own brother. I was just checking it out because Bao is a part of the Crane, and I think after he defected, the higher ups sent me directly into battle against him to prove that I was still loyal to the ops.
So then, Jen, what are the most infamous forces of the Whispering Crane that are feared all across the Southlands and Northlands alike?
The Crane Hegemon has a specially trained foot soldier regiment, like is super elite, called the Falcon Company. They're known for really ruthless tactics and being extremely mobile. Like they're some of the best cavalry people ever fielded. So they get in, they crush the populace, crush the opposition, and they're gone.
And then we finish with Bao. Which treasure of the hegemons and emperors of old is said by legends and oral stories to lay forgotten in one of the many creeks and lakes of the region?
Ooh, that's a really good one. There is a ship that is actually, legend says, sunk in one of the lakes, and aboard would be enough silver to buy anything. It would be, you could buy out your fiercest enemy. You could. It is a treasure to behold, and it is why these are the Silver Lakes. It's sort of one of those, like, is it just a nursery rhyme? Like, that's why they call them the Silver Lakes and they're shiny, or is it actually that there is a ship that was sunk here long, long ago?
So the ship is made of silver?
Yeah, sure. No, I love that. The ship itself is made of silver and it carries silver, and it's a strange legend, but
It's a very
some believe
strange
it to be true.
Okay. So let's see how everyone is doing as they prepare after the first day. As we zoom in one of the commanding tents, and we zoom in into the commanding tents of the Ox. And it seems that there is the inner tent in which you can hear laughing uh, from the Thunderous Ox on the inner parts, but we see two of our heroes among the other officers. So who do we see as the camera pans out? So why don't you introduce us to Jen?
Right. So we see sort of a separate map table off to the side of the main Ox forces, surrounded by a group of identically dressed, like sort of uniformed generals and other officers, all wearing a distinctive black and silver uniform. One of whom is young and sort of guiding the other officer's attention as he points to the map. We see his piercing, precise gaze on one of the little crane figurines that indicates a force on the battlefield. And this is Jun of the Holy Society, getting his troops organized for the coming battle.
On the opposite side of the table, we see Wei.
I think Jen is a little bit unsure of Wei at the moment because Wei hasn't said a word as Zhang has outlaid his plans for the troops. He's just sitting there and watching everything and taking in everything that's going on.
The laughter grows louder, and out comes your leader, the Thunderous Ox. So why don't each of you tells me something true about the Thunderous Ox?
One of the things that makes Thunderous Ox so successful is that he himself is just a ferocious fighter. He is perpetually drunk while he's on the battlefield because he is one of the world's top drunken masters. And the guy is an absolute terror so long as he has a jug and some sort of enormous weapon on him.
And Wei, what is the one true thing that you know about the Thunderous Ox?
Building off of that, one of the reason that he's called the Thunderous Ox is that his footsteps can be heard for miles. And it's said that there's no wall that can stop him if he decides to plow through it.
And now asking Ming and Bao, what is one thing that you believe about the Thunderous Ox?
It is believed that the Thunderous Ox has deep connections to a criminal underground, and is not always the most scrupulous with his finances.
Can confirm.
I heard that the Thunderous Ox shows no mercy to the defeated and takes no prisoner, and only death follows.
So you see Thunderous Ox, surprisingly sober when out on the battlefield, and he's laughing as thunderous as his footsteps, and following on his besides are his two biggest advisors. One is the leader of the Holy Society, Shadow Saber. The other is the master of the Eagle Doctrine School that persuaded the students to join the cause of the Thunderous Ox. So, do you have a name for the teacher, Wei?
Let's call her the Harmonious Ivory Servant.
Harmonious Ivory Serpent. So, Harmonious Ivory Serpent seems quite pleased with herself, but Shadow Saber does not seem to share on the good mood that both the hegemon and the master of the school share. I have come with the most delightful of plans. You, boy, the ox turns to a. Is it true that you are a sibling of a bow of the Ardent Prosperity Delegates?
Yes. Well, at least we grew up in the same house. I didn't see him much, but he is part of my blood.
Oh, there is something on the filial piety that can be used for the benefit. I am going to give you the biggest of the tasks. You are to meet with your brother early in the battle and give him gifts on my behalf and convince him to join my side.
Of course, my great leader. I would do anything for the Thunderous Ox.
Delightful. And Jen, you see that Shadow Saber seems more and more displeased the moment that this plan seems to be going without an itch.
Yeah, I'm not too big on Eagle Doctrine to begin with, but if They're going to bring Bao onto our side. I'm going to, without like breaking my salute to Thunderous Saber, I'm going to catch her eye and kind of give her a little eyebrow signal that, you sure about this?
And yeah, they clearly are not that entirely sure about this. And without breaking courtesy, they try their best to imprint in you that no, they have their doubts.
Is there any opportunity to take Wei aside and talk about this?
Yeah, you're gonna have opportunities later in the night after the meeting goes, because then the Thunderous Ox considers the matter handled and just gives order. Oh yes, please just carter a few of of golden treasures that we got from the last stride. Send it as tribute to Bao. Maybe fetch one of those fast horses that defeated member of the Falcon Company left on the battlefield. I'm sure that is going to please them. And then he moves on to other business, leaving the rest of officers to do whatever. So you two are able to convene.
Wei, can I speak to you for a moment?
Certainly. What is it that I can do for you?
I will pull you by the shoulder over to a sort of unattended campfire off to one side and kind of hunker you down. You know how I feel about Eagle Doctrine joining this fight in the first place. But are they really going to pull your bastard of a brother into this?
Look, at the best of times, I like my brother even less than you do. But he is a great fighter. And sometimes that's what we need.
Bad enough that you beat my troops, but then you have to give him the credit for it? He's not deserving. You're the better general. He is not deserving of this piety you give him.
Oh God, this escalated fast. Is this already an inner conflict?
For me or for him?
I think for Jen. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
I'm not. I
I think if you have to ask that question, it probably is.
fair point.
True. So you can get 1 XP and roll for inner conflict. So inner
Okay.
conflict, you roll with any element except your style element. So no fire.
Okay. Forgive me, I haven't fully read this move, so I don't really know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Give me
So you
5
pick.
seconds.
Yeah. So just pick whatever you think it's the propriety of the ring that would ground you on this situation, and then just roll 2d6 with that modifier.
Okay.
Also mark XP, because just for rolling you mark XP on that.
Oh, okay. I see why it triggers now. All right. It's the only thing about everything being in one spreadsheet. Okay. This is. Ooh. This might be about metal. Yeah. This is about sort of maintaining control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will roll with metal and get the XP. And here we go. Oh, that is a 9.
Okay, so on a 9, you must either flee the scene or mark an element.
Oh my goodness. I will flee. I will. Okay, so I will stare at Wei for a moment, across the firelight, as it were, and then sort of shake myself and turn a bit red as I say, "I've got to go see to my troops," and just hustle off before I can say anything else.
So, Wei, it's the manual love just stormed out after unleashing how much they are against this plan and how much they despise your sibling. So, how do you feel about that?
I'm broken a little. Oh, is it something that I said? What can I do? What can I do to let him see how I feel? But not break my loyalty to my school and my faction.
So, what is the last thing we see of A in the night as we zoom out?
I think Wei stays by that campfire and starts to pace around it, thinking deeply and yeah. So the camera stays on Wei as you see the back of Jen's coat flutter away.
We cut to another comment tent. This one quite different. We see, well, that's the thing. We don't see the Whispering Crane. We just see a massive veil separating the dais where the fancy dressed Whispering Crane stands before their shadows casting large over the meeting place. And we see two rows of officers and advisors discussing their approaches because the Whispering Crane has the best counsel of the land, and what they do well is listen. And we see two of those advisors and commanders. We see Ming and Bao. So, what we look when we zoom into the tent?
Well, first you would notice the tall and slim Ming as he twirls his long goatee among his fingers, obviously in quiet contemplation. As he strolls from side to side, his perfectly cut robes never touching the floor, just beneath the ankles. When a brightness catches his eye and believes it's the garb of Bao, always needs to outdress him.
And Bao, who is in his finest golden robes, because we will be meeting the Whispering Crane today, has brought with him a book of children's poetry about this silver ship that sunk here so many years ago, and he's going to attempt to at least divert some of the forces to seek out this legendary ship. He believes it will gain them an advantage.
And we see Melee next to Bao. So, what is something that Melee is very good at and desperately compensates for a flaw in Bao's character?
Oh, she actually has class. Bao is crass and snobbish and just an absolute jerk about things. She actually has class and poise, and you know, she she is of a high society because someone likes her. Bao is high society because he has lots of money.
Bow, I wouldn't presume that is the same golden robe you were wearing yesterday.
Oh. Oh, Ming, you monks. Having to reuse clothes so often. It's amusing to me, really. Oh. Because I do believe those are your traveling robes, are they not?
Yes, they've been my robes for many, many a season.
Well, once there's muck on the bottom of them, you might as well just keep using them, right?
Ming looks down. These robes are perfectly cut. Never once touching the mud. Miss Millie, good to see you.
The same, Master Ming. It's always pleasure to have such illustrious company.
Yes, unfortunately, I see you are still tending to your duties to Mr. Bao.
Loyalty has no bounds. My family committed ourselves to serving Master Bao, and I must carry that responsibility. Such is the expectation from a filial daughter.
Yes, loyalty. Something our mutual friend Wei could learn something about, having gone to...
Wei.
Why am I doing a British accent? But gone to the other side.
Yes, way disappointing to hear about my former compatriot with the Eagle Doctrine School. But it seems that their new teacher has led them astray over to the Thunderous Ox. However, Bao, the Holy Society's over there as well, and I think you're pretty familiar with one of their commanders.
You know I don't like to speak about that.
You should speak about that because your brother spoke about it plenty.
My brother is a liar.
Who am I to
nothing else.
believe? Did I force inner conflict upon
It's definitely that. But
I'm
the
good with
question
that.
is who? So, yeah, basically they are insulting your friend, and at the same time, uh,
Yeah, no, I see the emotional turmoil now in
yeah. Okay,
especially
so,
to have to do this in front of Mealing.
oh, yeah. So, you come here and do this in front of my salad and mainly. Okay, so you get 1 XP and you get to roll in a conflict.
Okay, so I am probably... Oh, this is patience because that's my dump stat. So let's do this.
Just
rolling-
making a scene in the middle of court.
Of course. All right. That is a 6.
Okay, so get another XP and things.
Woo!
And what is your reaction? So I can see how things escalate.
How Bao reacts to this? Let's think. How would Bao react to this? I think Bao gets legitimately embarrassed that his little brother has shamed him so much, and in his shame he begins to try and push aside Ming and steps into a puddle and actually does ruin some of his clothing, and then perhaps, if you're open to it, Ludo, that's exactly when the Whispering Crane shows up.
Yeah, that's
Compromising.
exactly when the veils turn apart and you can hear the wooden clack of the two ends of a fan closing as a look of pure contempt is on them as they look at Bao, and how improper they seem to be, not only speaking but presenting themselves. And Ming and Bao, why don't you tell me a mystery about the Whispering Crane?
She's ageless. No one knows exactly how old she is, but no one can remember a time when she was young.
And Ming?
Um, her beauty is like captivating. Like when she enters the room, it is hard to avert your eyes to anything else.
And Jan and Wei, why don't you tell me two lies that are spoken about the Whispering Crane?
It's said that she can actually fly, and that on the battlefield she leaps from conflict to conflict, and her movement is so fluid that she can legitimately fly.
They say that whatever creepy ass means she uses to maintain her agelessness, she also has access to spells that can alter the mind.
So, the Whispering Crane is this glare of pure contempt, and everyone is dumbfounded. She always has this presence when she reveals herself and addresses the officers directly. And she extends her fan towards Ming, noting a clear preference that further insults Bao. And she commands, "Serve me, Master Ming. Your advice is what my ears long for."
And that is why I'm here, to serve you, our one and only ruler.
So, what is the Azure wisdom? How shall we win the day and free all of the land of the tyranny of oxen?
Well, of course, the best way is to fight with honor, to care for those that are hurt, and to show that we are above the treacheries of the Thundering Ox.
Go on.
No subterfuge, head to head on the battlefield. Show our strength, but yet show our mercy as well.
Why don't you give me an heart and mind?
All right. Hearts and minds. I guess this is
You can pick any element for this.
yeah,
Even your style.
I'm thinking yeah, I think it has to go with style because I'm showing like wisdom here. So I'll go +1. Oops. Let me get let's see 2. What's an 8? It's a 9.
So they overreact. So you get a bound with the whispering crane. So they are all too eager to do what you say. Uh, and they prepare to retreat and leave the organization and disposition of the forces to you. But before they leave, they have a single question to you. What about casualties on both sides? Do you think that resolving this battle quickly will result in less dead than letting it linger? Because the first day will be brutal if we do as you say.
Well, although brutal, all war is brutal. But war that lingers is torture. I say it is better to be done with it and begin the healing.
And I think it's at this point, Bao being pompous and having no class. Well, might I suggest a slightly different tact, one of subterfuge. For the battle can be won without shedding a single drop of blood, if this is what you wish.
The Whispering Train retreats to beyond her veil, ignoring Bao's words. And it's clear that if you want to convince someone, you need to convince Ming. So everyone in the meeting turns to Ming to see what they say about this.
I turn to Bao, and then I look around and I see all the eyes are upon us. I hand you a clean, like a handkerchief for your stained robes, and we shall meet in private. Bao, Mealy, shall we step outside, and then I'll inform the rest of you of the final plan.
Oof. I wonder if no. I think at this point the court is not going to cause problems. And they're gonna react as this is normal. And you are able to slip away into the night. Except for one person. Mainly stands back and her eyes seem even more disgusted with Bao than even the Whispering Crane, but the rest of her face is trying to cover it up. And she seems to be struggling to follow both of you, but she decides to stay with the rest of the officers. So, is that bad for any of you, or?
Maybe it might be a little bit bad for her because she can't confront what I'm just about to say here to Bao.
Yeah. Okay. So, where do you go after you leave the tent?
I think we walk off onto like a outcropping of rock that's like overlooking the battlefield and the giant skies back there and grand wuxia fashion, you know. Beautiful backdrop. Bao. Well, friend. So, I think I heard something about you.
I don't know what to speak of.
Well, I mean, you are quick to bring up subterfuge.
I was merely going to discuss how I have beaten Jen before.
But this isn't concerning that. This is concerning the 100-facet blade technique. I know now the power you hold.
I think this is definitely inner conflict to be hitting this.
Get that XP and roll inner conflict.
I want to see where this goes. So I hope you don't run away.
All right. Let's see. This is definitely no, yeah, this is calculated. I've been planning this, so let's do it. 8. That's a 10. So what do I get on 10? Managed to keep myself together, and I get XP. Cool.
So
Yeah.
you're confronting me about this faceted blade technique?
Yeah. Basically, I'm straight up bringing my entanglement into this. Like, I found out that you've been hiding your true power.
And I hear you've been hiding your true love.
Which is why I wish your retainer would have followed us outside, Bow. How does this information get out? Because I know you wouldn't say it yourself. That only points to one person, Mealy.
I'm sorry. What was that? One more time, Pat?
So basically, I'm pointing out that Mealy is the one that's telling your secret.
Oh. You.
Oh, that's definitely hearts and minds.
You're trying to sway me?
Well, I mean, that's my theory.
Yeah. But you know the power of a word in this in Nuxia. So
Okay.
go ahead and hearts and minds to see how convincing this is.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see how it works on a PC now. I think this is. Yeah, I think I'm like touching this with a little bit of focus and caution. So let's go with that. And it's probably time to fail one. 6. Nope. 7. Just made it. 7 and 9. There's a complication. Oh wait.
No,
7 and 9. You mark an element as well if they decline.
Yeah. So
what are you asking me to do?
I'm asking you to confirm with me that it is Mealy that let that secret out about you being an assassin.
So you get 1 XP if you believe this lie, or theory, and if you refuse to believe this, then Ming marks an element.
And I mark an element too if I refuse to believe it, right? That was my reading of the move.
Yeah, if you don't, yeah.
Yeah, not my melee. No.
Okay, so both of you mark elements.
I am going to mark. I'm going to mark fire because it's going to make me reckless.
Yeah, I marked earth because you just turned me uncaring to you, Bow.
So Bao absolutely refuses. Are you trying to turn her against me? Is that what you're trying to do? Drive your staff between?
I'm just trying to get you to see the truth.
Your tactics are naked.
Bow. You must stay focused. You know what lies ahead for the both of us.
I know now only what I must do.
Fine.
I must make your plan moot. I must go take care of my brother.
Your brother. I think you should also take care of Jin while you're at it.
There is an order.
There's an order to such things.
Oh, I guess that's the climax for that scene, unless there's something else. Okay, so we're gonna skip to the second day of the battle and think of at least one scene that you want to see to playing out during the battle, and when we returned, because we're gonna take 5 minutes break, then we gonna go through those scenes and then see if the recruitment happens at all. We'll see you in 5. So the dawn casts its lights across the silver lakes, and rows of troops assemble on each side as cavalry and better equipped troops move to seize in strategic points. But there is quickly a change in the battlefield, as unusually someone that is so cautious and so manipulative, you all expect to be that time, but that's not how the Whispering Crane is fighting today. They are charging, they are committing troops, they are pressing on. They are extremely aggressive for what is only the second day of the battle, before there's much commitment. And on the other side, you would expect that the Thundering Ox would be meeting a king, excelling at the ferocity for which they are known. But they are not. They are being cautious. They are keeping most of the forces on reserve, and they are only contesting the advances that they must, so that important crossings are not taking over. It's almost as they are expecting some great plan to come to fruition. And speaking of great plans, so what are four heroes of the land plan to do on this complicated battle as they set forth with their forces? So I'm gonna ask you basically one kind of scene during the battle that you want to do, so that I try to hit that before the session is over. So go ahead with any ideas that you have.
Well, I wanted to have one with me and Jen on the way to the battlefield. Kind of planning how this is all going to happen.
That definitely works for me. I'd like to have some sort of a confrontation with Bao, and so possibly leading opposing forces, if possible.
I'd like to see, I don't know when you want to throw it in there, but a scene with Jin and Mealy to kind of throw that love triangle out there.
And Bao?
I think Jen and I already said the same one. Basically, we want to see that
Mhm.
conflict. Right now, I think that's the only one I want to see.
Okay, so let's see if we
Change
can.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, if there is anything that, based on how the fiction turns out, just add. So we open to at the first rays of the sun, as it's still dark. There's still stars in the sky, as uh, Wei and Jen, they are meeting and making the preparatives to carrying all these gifts that somehow Wei has to cross a battlefield, cross through into the worst of the fighting, and manage to transport these treasures to their brother. And we see them planning together.
Jen, my friend, I feel badly about how last night went. Is there anything I can do to make you feel better about this plan?
Just survive it. We have our orders. I can't gainsay Shouted Saber, and she says we back the ox, so we back the ox. But you're a good warrior. I respect Eagle Doctrine's fighting ability, at least as you demonstrated. So just stay alive. I'll watch your back as much as I can.
Well, I mean, it's vital to me that you stay alive as well. I feel like this battle could go any way, but as long as we're standing here at the end of it, I don't mind.
You just you just keep banging that inner conflict hammer. Seriously. Oh,
Okay, you
I
get
don't-
one XP, and you get
I think this is about me holding myself back from like at minimum doing some kind of affectionate manly backpat shit in front of all our troops, and that's not me. Okay, what was do? Oh, yeah, I think this is about rolling with Earth. This is about me kind of staying focused, remembering that all of my holy society troops are right behind me and would not approve. And yeah, that's how you reroll. Oh, snap. Just briefly, Ludo, how does burning a relationship work?
so you lower it and you get a +1.
Oh wait, I don't have, and I can do that with. Does it have to be relevant to the role?
Yeah, but I would say that the Holy Society one is relevant.
Oh, that's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about that one. Are there any consequences in the fiction to lowering it, or is it just?
Well, it's basically that you are straining that relationship.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will definitely burn that because that takes me to a 10 on that roll. And right, what that do again?
So you keep your cool in the front of your troops, and you don't have to
Okay.
back down.
Right. So there's a longing look exchange, but I don't lean in or anything, and then I salute, kind of same social level, and turn around and marshal my troops, and let's get in there.
I think I look longingly as you walk away, and then I turn around to just see this horse laden with gifts, and sigh. And I'm going to take my horse and take the horse that's meant for my brother and head out.
Can we say you just miss me looking back over my shoulder at you just about the time you turn around?
Sure. So yeah, it's that thing that the opening two doors thing where I look towards you and turn around, and you turn around and look at me.
Speaking of Sai, so Ming, do you boost your position on the army to make sure that Maylin is close to you during the battlefield?
I think I make sure that because for some reason Bao is not around. Maybe. So I feel like it's my duty to make sure she's close to protect her. Although this is Wuxia, so she could probably handle herself.
Yes. She will not appreciate if that became clear. That's what you intended. So you are in the worst of the fray. So how are the troops of the Azure monastery handling the vanguard?
Oh, it's they're making pretty quick work of the front lines, mainly because it doesn't have the numbers that we originally planned for. Here at the front, we thought there would be a lot heavier resistance than there is, and the Azure Monastery is moving pretty well as the vanguard, pushing the lines back further into Ox territory.
You sense that there's something wrong. It seems there are so few troops, and a lot of them seem to be falling back, almost as if guiding you towards the direction. You get the sense that you are not in control of the flow of combat, that the Thundering Ox is, and that is deeply worrisome, especially with the gains you are having. So, do you want to study the battlefield?
Yeah. Very, very calmly, I kind of whirl my my horse around in like a 360 fashion as it sidesteps, as I'm just looking all over the whole battlefield, just wondering where is this trick coming from.
Okay, so give me a study.
All right. You study something in order to change game state. Basic information. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely calculation. I'm gonna roll metal on that one. That's an 11. So I hold to spend one for one, ask a question about the situation, ask a question about a person, learn a person's scale, reveal a detail. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend one of the holds about the situation, like what is the hidden threat here?
You recognize that there is a force that you have not seen assembled. Actually, two. You don't see the Eagle Doctrine anywhere close, nor the Holy Society, and you know that they are the biggest trump cards on the forces of the Thundering Ox. And you fear that they probably going to target either the Falcon Company or the Iron Prosperity delegates, because clearly they are not confronting you, which will be the other biggest threat. So you fear that they are probably going to target one of those.
Yeah, so I turn to Mealy. I'm like, Mealy, keep your wits about you. There's some trickeration up in the air here. Can't you feel it?
And Millie looks at you. What do you mean, Master Ming?
I mean, this is that underhanded subterfuge we had talked about before. That damn Holy Society and that damn Jin.
So she dodges a spear and gets the soldier attacking. As she turns to you, trickery is afoot. I must tell Master Bao. I must find him.
I'll go with you. You're not to go alone out here in this battle.
Master Ming, you forget yourself. What about your duty? And she jumps over one of row of soldiers. You stay here and win the day.
You will not go alone.
I will not. I am not alone. I am with our troops.
Sounds like Hearts and Minds.
Yeah, sounds definitely like a heart and mind. She really does not want you to go.
Actually, I do still have a hold from study.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is her desire? She reveals that. Her true desire here.
Her true desire is that she too has noticed that the Holy Society is not on the field. And the moment you mention trickery is afoot, she recognized that wherever the trickery is, probably Jen is too. and she wants to see Jen and make sure that Jen survives the day.
Definitely. We will go together. We'll find Bao. I'm not leaving you alone. The Azure Monastery can handle this weak vanguard that the Thundering Ox put up here.
Okay, give me a heart and mind, and you're gonna get +1 because of your study, because
Okay.
you know which buttons to press.
All right. Ooh, it's a 3.
She does not wait for you, and she kind of scoffs, like, "Well, if you want to fall, I cannot stop you, but good luck outracing me." And she darts in the middle of the enemy troops, cutting them left and right as she tries to carve a bloody path towards where she thinks Bao is. And with that, we get to Bao. Where is actually Bao?
So I think Bao, because Wei is supposed to meet me, right? That was the, and I think if you're into it, Wei, there's a spot on this battlefield where we were once children.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yes, we were kids. We played in these fields. We had a hiding spot, and we meet there. You with your pony full of goods. Yeah, we wait for the boat together. I love that.
I was going to say, Jen, how would you feel if you, in your regular movement of troops, happened to go through there and met with Bao while I was still on the way?
It's a possibility. I was thinking that, and if this is okay with everyone, I think maybe like they're holding the Holy Society back for like a flanking action or something. And so I'm stuck like, come on, let me get this over with so I can go check on Wei. So like I could see myself like trying to sort of get my work done triple quick so I can go off and do my thing.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting through all of the enemy troops to lead a path for me.
Exactly. Like I have my assignment, gonna get it done faster than fast, and I'm out.
Yeah, and Jen, the thing that you notice that there seems to be more and more reinforcements coming in your direction. So there is really a pressure of time.
But I think in this secret hiding spot, brother, I see you have brought some gifts from your drunken master.
My glorious master has seen worthy of offering you such gifts, knowing that you are easily led to bribery.
He is so drunk he thinks I need more things. It amuses me.
I think he just thinks that you love things.
I have here the plans for the next 2 days. Not all of the plans, but I believe plans that may be of interest to you. The movements that have been planned for one Ming.
Ming.
Yes.
Many years ago, I believed him to be a friend, but many things have changed since then, haven't they?
Yes, you can take that entire pony of gold. You can take this map with you too. But I want something from.
Well, my orders are to bring you back with me.
That will not happen. I want Jen's head. And
Well,
you will
Jen's on the
deliver me.
battlefield. He's in the battlefield and you're here with me. If you wanted his head, you could have sought him out there. I think there's something else at stake here. I think that you want to join me with the Thundering Ox. Now, I do, as a student, have a special move. Rather than Hearts and Minds, I get Blade Heart when I attempt to change the loyalty or purpose of a worthy agent of the villain, which I'm guessing the enemy team is the villain. So I'll roll for that.
The question is, let's see how this would work on a PC.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it would work with like Hearts and Minds. You know, they can they get XP if they agree.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh. So that's 6.
Oh,
I've done that with. No, I've been planning this all night, so I would have done it with metal.
okay. So it's a what now?
8.
Oh, an 8.
Actually, so I can, if I burn, I've got a move that if I burn a bond, I get +2 instead of +1.
Mm-hmm.
So if I burn with Jen,
Uh-huh.
then I can get that up to 10. And so I think I say, look, I'll tell you what, you can't have his head, but I can organize for you and him to be in one-on-one combat. Just promise me that you won't hurt him too badly. You can defeat him, just don't kill him. We need him for the battle. But then you come back with me.
So, Bao, you get 1 XP if you choose to come with them, face your master, or flee. What do you choose?
But I can't. I have to promise not to defeat him. Not to. No, I promise to defeat him, but not kill him.
Yeah.
That dead Zhang's the only good Zhang I know. Oh.
Hey, you just have to promise. You don't have to follow through.
Yeah.
Also, it's
mean-
not an entanglement. It's there.
Yeah. I will agree.
Okay, so get 1 XP.
Sorry, Pat. And I agree to one-on-one combat with Jen. And then I will come away with you.
Fantastic. It'll be like old times. We'll beat up the bullies together.
Okay. So we need to get to Jen. So, Jen, you are being swamped by enemy troops. It seems that, and you recognize the banners. Not only are you fighting against the main forces, you are also seeing banners of the Iron Prosperity delegates getting closer and closer, as well as banners of the Azure Monastery at the distance. So why don't you deal with troops and see how you are faring fighting all these men?
All right. Deal with there it is. Yes. So this is me rolling with fire. The Thousand Spear Palm is known for being a quick and overwhelming style, and most of my compatriots are trained in it. That is an 11.
Okay, so you are awesome in the battlefield. So go full Dynasty Warriors then. Describe,
Roger that.
describe what we see.
Okay. Yeah. So our signature style is with twin sabers. One held the standard way. On the offhand, it's held sort of underhand. But the Thousand Spears teaches you the ability to switch grips more or less at will. So it's almost as though you're being attacked by 4 swords per troop. And I'm backed by my 10 best, right? So we dismount light body style, just kind of fly off the horse, dancing across the heads of the bulk troops and cutting down their elite forces left and right, just overwhelming them. One of my troops per 2 or 3 other fighters. Yeah, I mean, Iron Prosperity, the chumps, you know. And if it's possible, at the point at which it becomes clear that Iron Prosperity has kind of lost the day, I've actually got a move for this sort of situation, if I may. All
Go
right.
ahead.
Let's see where this is. Yeah, so Strife for Mastery. When you give NPCs an order based on an authority they respect, and I hope they do, I will roll to give them a fairly difficult choice here. So let's give this a try.
What is the order to give them?
I am going to give them point them in direction that they are going to retreat, and have my most elite forces flank them in such a way as to make it very persuasive. And if they retreat in that direction, they're going to block off the advance of the Azure Monastery forces. Let's see, I think presence seems right for this, so I'll roll it with Earth. And this is probably going to go badly. That is unmodified snake eyes, my friends.
Choose one, mark an element, or have someone important regard this as overstepping your place.
I'm kind of comfortable with either one. But you know, it just fits. I will mark Earth and become obsessive in my concern for what's going on with Wei.
Yeah, the troops are not retreating, and soon the Azure Monastery seem almost on top of you. But you are roused from your thoughts by a familiar voice. Jan of the Holy Society, you hear Malin challenge you. So, Bao, what is Malin's weapon?
Uh, That's a good one. Let me look at the list.
She's kind of prim and proper, right? That's kind of her thing.
Yeah, that is very much her thing.
It's very classic for a woman to be armed with a spear.
I like the spear. Spears.
Yeah. So she is shaking a spear in your direction, swirling it in all directions, as if the spear is melting in the air so fast it moves. You have known nothing but defeat at the hands of my master, and he is coming for your head. I, merciful Melee, I offer you a chance. Face me in combat, and you will get the opportunity to fall back with your honor after you are vanquished by me. So Melee wants to duel you.
Can I study? Is she trying
Yes,
to?
you
Is this
can.
about delaying, or is this
I mean,
about?
studying is what you want to call it. No.
Yeah, let's study.
Yeah, okay. So rolling with wood because curiosity. Let's see what happens. Oh, sweet. That is a 10. And now I have to figure out what this move does.
Yeah, you get to pick two questions from the options there.
Okay. All right. Yo. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm pretty. What? So first question. What is her motive? Why is she challenging me to this fight? What is her motivation here?
She wants to see you to safety, and she seems to know something. She seems to know something that is not obvious to you, to the
Mm,
point that she believes that only by forcing you to retreat, you will survive the day.
wow. I don't know, like which of us knows much about the other, but she doesn't have a lot of faith in my abilities. Second question. What is her scale?
She is on your scale.
Uh-huh. Okay, so this is not about delaying me from going to. Okay. And she says this right in front of my troops. I got to do it. I got to do it.
Now, very important thing, Ming, you can see them. And I know this is very important for you because of a move you have.
I'm gonna wait a second.
So
I want to
feel
watch
free.
the duel.
Yeah, so but feel free to storm right there if you need be. Okay, so what is Jen's reaction then at this information?
So she. All right, I will. No, strike that. I will put my weapons in sort of a tension position, like right before a salute, and say, if it has to be this way, I will duel you. However, should I win, you will join me in protecting my quarry. It's not my head I'm most worried about today.
Roll hearts and minds with advantage because
Okay.
you are telling her, getting her to do what she kind of wants, which is exactly to get you out of the battlefield, and she's reading those words as doing just that. So
Uh-huh.
roll 3d6s and pick the two highest.
Okay. All right, so easiest way to do this is the best I can do with that is wait, what stat? Or is it still a stat or just flat roll?
It's that. Which element are you using for this?
To persuade her that honestly, I think I'm being kind of sneaky about it. I guess metal.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a 7.
Okay. Mm. I'm gonna say they overreact. They are very eager to both face you and either of the outcomes. So yeah, you get one bound with them.
Okay.
And now time to duel. So because it's a foe of your scale. Wait, what happened to the move? Okay. So they are of your scale. So roll plus style element.
All right. Boo-doo-boo-boo-doo-doo.
And remember, you have a good bound to lose if you need.
Oh, believe me, it was not far from my mind. So yeah, I rush in blades whirling. Oh, I don't think I'll need that bond. That is a 13.
Okay. So you win the conflict. So how do you do it?
Oh. Okay, well, okay. I think she is so like committed to this things I don't know about, but also this agreement we've made to get off the battlefield with both our lives, that she holds back. And that is exactly the situation where Thousand Spear Palm is most effective. A slowed or conservative opponent is exactly my favorite kind. So I am just deflecting her spear left and right, getting inside her guard, folding in hand strikes, elbow strikes, and kicks along with slashes. And I think she's like cosmetically wounded coming out of it, like a few little cuts here and there. But eventually, I get her dead to rights with my offhand blade pointed right at her throat.
Do you kill her? Mark XP then. And you can declare a shift in the fiction. That seems appropriate.
I'll throw this up to the table. Does anybody have a like flamingly good idea about this?
Well, I'm gonna pop in like right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us how it looks when you dart from one place to another.
Oh, there's just like this like gush of wind as troops turn, as they feel a presence. Just like, what was that? So you see like a bunch of troops turn, but then I am standing there with my staff out on the ground, standing in between you and Mealy. And I'm like, Mealy, get up and leave.
So, Bao, how about that single combat? How are you two siblings getting closer to get that?
I defer to my younger brother, who will arrange it for me.
Well, I think I know the lay of the troops. I know where Jen is, and so I think we leave together from that little hidden spot directly in the direction that Jen's troops would be. And so we would be kind of coming over a hill and come across this battlefield and see Jen with melee on the ground and Ming between them.
Yeah, so this is exactly what Ming sees as soon as he gets closer to Melin. He sees at the distance incoming Bao and Wei coming together. And Melin is there, and Zhang is there. Does Ming has a clear idea of what he wants to do, or shall we say, is he conflicted?
Yeah. Very conflicted, knowing that my friend is riding with the enemy, and I knew about my other friend being over there, but that's not his fault. He's just a student. He got led astray.
So,
But not Bao.
okay, so shall we have our inner conflict there? Get that
Sure.
XP?
Sure. Let's see. I'm gonna say this is passion. Like, this is anger. Like, Ming's angry at seeing Bao ride up with his brother.
Yeah.
especially when I told him to take care of Zhang beforehand. So let's roll this. It's a 6 minus 1. That's a 5.
Oh shit!
So I get 2 XP.
Yes. So I think what happens, how things really escalate, is that Melin sees you looking to Bao and Wei, and she grows paler, and she basically she jumps to a horse and pushes Zhang to do the same as they rush to join the brothers. And suddenly Ming is left alone in a sea of enemies.
Oh no. See, like do I mark a element for that or for missing,
No,
or do
no,
I
no,
not?
no, no, no. The
Okay.
hard move is enough.
I think at this point, Bao will turn away and say, "And here is what I have promised you."
And here's what I promised you.
So if ever I have a great interest in dismounting Zhen from his horse. I could do so violently or just say he's off his horse.
Actually, let's do each of you do an impress roll. Basically, you are trying to basically, it's a competition of horsemanship.
Okay, a horsemanship for myself against Zhen.
Yeah. So each of
Okay.
you picks an element. And let's say that you are trying to establish dominance among the forces of the Thundering Ox.
I am going to go with. Let's see, I can't do caution. Oh, sorry. No, I can't do fire. I don't know. I guess awareness. There's a lot of enemies here, so that would be water.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. So for you, it's about like maneuvering among all these like crisscrossing forces.
Armies. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying not to go with my most obvious. All right. Yeah. So this is a kind of control thing for me. This is about like we see me trying to get the horse to do what I want it to do, like clear that jump. Oh, there's a earthwork there. Maneuver around this dead body. So it's control. It's metal for me.
So go ahead, make your rolls.
Yeah.
I rolled mine. I got a 10.
I got a 3.
Okay. I guess the two fit very well. So, how do you prove excellent at horsemanship? And what is the very big complication that you give to Zhang?
So I think. So I'm a little torn on the impressed move. I get to pick 2 options: create a bond, clear an element, or gain a favor.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to gain a bond with Zhen. I'm going to clear fire. And I think in the fiction, what we see is the Bao starts to chase him on horseback, and it is weaving through all of these enemies. And I'm sorry, what did you roll with again?
I went with metal. It's all about sort of control, just keeping my horse doing what it needs to do.
And your horses don't like to be controlled like that, and it begins to buck you. And I realize that you are not nearly as good at horsemanship as the legends around you say. And it actually gets to the point where I start to toy with you, like, showing up on your side and waving, and then disappearing behind a row of troops, and then coming up on your other side and surprising you there. And then finally, I sort of run you out into a clearing. And I'm actually really enjoying myself now. This is fun. I'm going to get to murder him.
Well, you two are outmaneuvering and you get them isolated from the troops. Good thing is, Ming is never isolated from someone they can see. So, Ming, do you join them?
What's the reaction of all the troops that are just around me? Because I'm there by myself, and Way's there, like, right, still mounted. Or did Way go running too?
Basically, the only troops that are on your side are the Azure Monastery ones. And you kind of got separated from them when you rushed to melee. So
Right.
they are holding their front, but around you, they are only enemy troops. They are not attacking you because there is a bit of confusion by the Iron Prosperity troops. If should we turn on our allies or just follow our superior? And nobody's really doing them orders. So
Way
yeah,
gonna chase after me, who's about to murder
Yeah, I was
his
gonna say,
love, or are you going to kill your rival? Ooh,
yeah.
Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah, I'm torn there because I would like to take care of Jen's safety and make sure that my brother holds up to his word. But I
Says
also
To me, like an inner conflict.
Yep.
So I will roll this with passion. And that's a 8.
Okay, so you can run away or you can mark an element.
Let's make this hard mode. And if I rolled with passion, I'm going to mark metal and lose control, which is my my style element. So this will be very difficult.
Yeah. So, in other words, you cannot fight. Okay, so if Way runs off and just leaves me standing here, surrounded by a bunch of Holy Society troops,
So
I'm gonna take
were
them all
on
down.
opposite ends of the
Yeah.
battlefield.
Yeah, deal with troops.
Are you though? Are you really?
We will see. Let's see. Deal with troops. Style element, which is water. 7. That's an 8. So I defeat them. Yeah. So what do you get on an 8 though?
Yeah, you defeat them.
Okay.
Describe how you do so.
Yeah, so like I'm just standing there quietly, like while all this chaos just like took off in one direction. With Jane and Bao and Wei all just kind of just leaving me and this huge pile of troops all around me. I slowly and quietly, like I take my staff and I kind of just set it down in the ground kind of heavy. And then I turn a full 360 and kind of draw a circle around me. And I ready my staff and I point to one of the Holy Society troops and I'm like, and they run in. I dispatch them, point to another, and I give them the go ahead. And that continues to go on until they realize, like, we shouldn't fight this guy one by one or one on one. And they all rush me only till, after a cloud of dust, you see a pile of knocked out Holy Society soldiers all around me. And me standing, and that circle in the dirt has never been broken.
Yeah. So Wei, it seems like the troops, the people that Jen love, are being decimated, and you stand there with your eagle doctrine skulls, and Melee rushes past you, running, looking at you, wild eyes, like asking, "Why are you not retreating?" And in one hand, you have Ming and on the other, you have whatever is happening with the other two. So what do you do?
Well, I can't fight Ming right now. He is quite clearly my superior, and so I think I will turn and run towards Bao and Zheng to make sure that Bao holds up his end of the bargain.
So Bao, Jeng, what do you want to do?
Here, I wish I could pull out a GIF of oh god, any stupid card anime. Duel.
Yeah. Okay, you both are on the same scale.
That remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Well, so for a PC duel,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't up to Ludo because I believe I'm challenging you,
Yes.
right? I pursued you, so I offer you something, and if you take it, you lose, but you get it.
Mm-hmm. And you may offer pretty much anything.
Oh.
Let me double check our entanglements here. If you let me defeat you, I will give my blessing between you and my brother. Or I will consider my honor re-won from his lies about our previous battle.
Okay. So the bad blood between us is 100% mutual. Okay. And if I say yes, I lose.
Yes.
But apparently live.
Those are the terms.
And if I refuse, we both mark an element.
Yes. And then you choose if you win or if it's a draw.
Forgive me, y'all. I need to think about this for a moment.
That's why I love this move. This is the best PC to PC conflict move in any PBT game, period.
This is pretty clear. Yeah, I'm sorry, I totally missed this when I was reading through the materials. So if you don't mind, review the terms for me real quick.
Yeah. So if I offer you terms, and if you accept them, I win. And my terms is that what I will give you is my blessing to be with my brother.
Okay.
And I will consider the dishonor of my brother having taken the previous victory over you.
Sort of clear the debt.
It'll clear this slate.
Right,
and
right.
I will look over that in the future. If you let me best you. If you refuse, we both mark an element, and then you get to choose whether we win, you win, or it's a draw.
Okay. I have one further question.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct that you can at any time substitute marking wounded for marking an element?
At any time you can choose that, yes.
Okay.
It's brutal.
Not when you're a swordsman. So yeah, I will decline that. Thank you very much. And I will take my first wounded box.
I will mark I will mark wood because that will make me overconfident, angry, and licentious.
Okay, so
Not that I aren't already, but
win or draw? What is it?
it's up to you.
Oh, as much as it hurts my ego, I think draw is the best. Like, mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, Bao, describe how through the battle your actions tell of your proposal, and then Jen, you finish on the undecisive draw. Go ahead.
So it's at this point where we've cleared this part of the field, and Bao just begins to disrobe all of these pieces of clothing, and when he finally gets down to like an actual combat armor layer, you see it is just absolutely covered in blades. And we begin to circle each other, and as you faint, you have a sword, do you not? Is that what you fight with?
2 of them.
Ah, your paired swords. I too fight with 2 daggers in my hands, but can very quickly grab and flick one. And this is where you begin to take wounds. They find chinks in your armor. They cut you in your face. I go, you know I have defeated you before. You know I am your better. But my brother took credit for it. I will not have that happen again. You know he loves you.
Unfilial sibling, I will shut your mouth for you.
I think I arrive at the scene in between those 2 statements.
Perfect.
And I think I gain my overconfidence because although I have wounded you, you do at the very end we come to a draw with blades to each other's throats.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm very, very seldom getting in a solid hit on you, but connecting a little more significantly in the few times that I do, and finally, just right in the clinch.
Okay.
Um,
So I asked this from the both of you. Actually, I asked from the other two. So what happens in the turn of the battle, not the duel, the battle around? What gets so chaotic that the 4 of you must disperse in different directions and the battle has to be called to a draw?
I think that the fact that like we kind of like ignored our troops, that it just became like this chaotic free for all. There was no strategy because we were all dealing with each other and our personal feelings, and like the troops just started just going all over the place. And I think like actual Thundering Ox and Whispering Crane kind of like entered the battlefield together. Don't know whether they fought or not, but
Yeah, I think the standing order from the Whispering Crane was get in there, kill as many as possible, win on the first day. And I think the maneuvering of the Ox wasn't taking that into consideration. So I think the Ox start to fall back a bit, not quite sure how to handle this. And then when Thundering Ox himself comes onto the battlefield, he counters their aggression with his own aggression and causes a bit of a stalemate that then ends the day of battle without anyone gaining anything.
And does this all come crashing down around our little duel?
Yep. Perfect. And as the sun sets for another twilight, the second day of battle is over. So everyone marks 3 XP because I've been keeping tabs, and everyone touched all of the entanglements because everyone is very good at this game. And it was a pleasure. I will not delay you anymore in case you have other schedules. Is everyone okay with me putting the video up later?
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Sure.
good.
Okay, so anything, just the briefing on chat. See you next time. And it was a delightful. This was an amazing game. Love you all.
Look forward to the next one.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
everybody.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.